Can you explain quantum entanglement communications?
Yes, I don't think most people understand what I'm about to say anyway, but I will. The way quantum entanglement works is that you can take two particles, quantum entangle them, and then take those two particles and move them at any distance in the cosmos. And let's just say, for example, if you quantum entangle two electrons and you have them spinning in the same direction, and then you take one of those electrons and you shoot that thing out 100,000 light years from the original. If you then rotate the spin on the one electron, if you modify it so that its spin changes, the quantum entangled electron at any distance will simultaneously, in no time, switch its rotation also because they're quantum entangled. So these communication systems are taking advantage of this aspect of quantum mechanics that most people can't wrap their heads around, and this is what they're utilizing. It's just the new level of science that affords us the ability to communicate at any distance instantaneously.
Hollywood loves to put the truth right in our face because they think we're stupid. Know y'all seen that movie Limitless where the guy takes something and he can access like 100% of his brain? People think that shit is faction, but call me crazy, I think I found a real life counterpart.
Most people, especially young people, probably don't realize that they're walking around right now at about 55%, maybe 60% of their true state of normal. There is a nutrient, an amino acid, a substrate, a compound, an element missing from their body that if they knew what it was, would make the difference between them being an average person and being a superhuman.
What supplement? Don't end your sentence there, Gary.
So it's called L-theanine.
What he's talking about is L-theanine. When I look, the studies show that this shit is literally the building block for dopamine and serotonin in our brain. Basically, those are the happy chemicals that make those hard tasks seem a whole lot easier and get you into something called flow state, where all the distractions go away and you're able to actually achieve the things that you set out for. This is how I knew that billionaires were smarter than us. But there was an episode on Shark Tank where these guys revealed the best way to use L-theanine. And now all the billionaires have been all over this shit. Y'all gotta listen.
People who try a product really love it.
Ryan, I gotta tell you, I am so freaking hyped right now.
Yes, let's go.
Let's take you on in judo, cat. Deal.
What do you want us to try first? Try the mints first.
The mints?
The sliding tin one.
How long does it take to be effective?
5 to 10 minutes.
What's got the shark so hype is this neurogum stuff. And when you try it, fucking be ready. Swear to God, like 5 to 7 minutes of chewing this shit, and it's almost like that movie Limitless where you just become a whole nother person. And look, it's because this blend of caffeine and L-theanine has been shown to give your brain a crazy buzz and allow you to achieve like higher levels of thinking. Even the random weird podcasters like Joe Rogan have been using this shit for years, and he gatekept it from us.
We go through 4 or 5 fucking boxes of that stuff.
Neurogum really works?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh wow.
It's got theanine in it and caffeine and a couple other things, and what it does is it enhances your memory. It enhances your brain's ability to form sentences. And
if you're somebody who procrastinates, or you got brain fog, or you can't seem to like focus on any task, try this shit for yourself. If you see the orange card around here somewhere, that means they are still available, but you gotta hurry because every time Joe Rogan yaps about this shit sells out like crazy.
Theory that the Mandela effect is used to see how much of history can be altered in front of our eyes. Here's a prime example of one of that. There's this woman on TikTok who was going crazy because she swore the Fruit of the Loom had a cornucopia logo. And to the point that even Fruit of the Loom themselves put a timeline of all their logos and it never had a cornucopia. And this woman went hard. Her therapist told her, yo, you need to chill out. You need to just drop this. So she went through all of her old clothing, and lo and behold, she found a shirt with the Fruit of the Loom with the cornucopia logo on it. That shows me like, yo, I think the Mandela effect is an operation that's running around right now to see how much of history can be altered right in front of our eyes without us noticing. And then they gaslight the public and be like, nope, this never happened.
Damn, I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah, bro. People are thinking about it very little, like, oh, it's the Berenstain Bears or the Berenstein Bears or Jiffy or Jif's peanut butter. No, it's much larger than that, guys. They're using this to see, oh, if we can get people to forget certain primary things about their childhood, what can we do with history?
This from you. During the 1900s, bells around the world were all collected and destroyed. Governments claimed it was due to the metal shortage during the world wars. However, it is believed that there is a much more sinister motive. Bells are powerful tools. They are not just signals that another hour has passed. These bells clear negative energy, raise vibrations, and connect us with higher realms. Fully aware of this, they were destroyed to suppress human awakening and maintain control over our collective consciousness. By eliminating these powerful instruments, society is forced to a lower vibrational state, and a further disconnect is made between us and the realms above. But it gets even deeper. In 1953, the standard frequency of music was intentionally adjusted from 432 Hz to 440 Hz. The 440 Hz frequency is considered disharmonious and disruptive to our energy fields, while the 432 Hz frequency is believed to align with the Earth's natural resonance, promoting healing and awakening. Without the sound of bells and the constant exposure to modern music, society is being kept at a lower vibrational state, resulting in our connection to the divine being weakened.
If you're a fan of conspiracy theories, I've got a doozy for you. Why do you think we stopped teaching civics and American history in our schools? Was it just a dumb idea or a sinister plot to destroy democracy? The fact is that the very survival of democracy depends upon us, as in we the people, being informed, smart, and involved, engaged. But it's also a fact that 70% of we the people couldn't pass the multiple choice test that immigrants have to take to become citizens. Most of us don't even bother to vote. It's clear that democracy could use a little help. My friends and I, all people from the advertising business, have decided that it's time we get off the sidelines and do what we do best. So we've launched an advertising campaign we call America the Possible. Starting now, America the Possible will regularly post facts about how democracy works, one easy-to-swallow microbite at a time. The plan is simple. Once you know how the system works, we think you'll decide to get off the sidelines and go to work at making America all that it could be. After all, people, it's your country. It's your turn. You gotta do something. In the meantime, we could use a little help from you. Follow us, share, and together, we'll make America better by making Americans smarter.
The Vatican hides a lot of things because the same buildings that are at the Vatican are the same buildings that were in San Francisco. And before the World Fair of San Francisco, they got rid of all the buildings that look like the Vatican. That was that whole reset. And what's interesting is there's a book from 1907 that talks about how when the San Francisco World Fair whole thing took place, that they tried to put out the fires with TNT and dynamite. TNT and dynamite to put out fires. Never heard of that before. Anytime there's a fire, I've never heard of anybody using TNT and dynamite. I've also never heard of them using cannons. They also talked about how they use cannons against the fire. So the same buildings that are in San Francisco are the same buildings that are in the Vatican. They're just going to try to point your eyes at the Vatican and say that they own that land, when in reality, those buildings and that type of style of architecture was all over the world. They just capitalized on it. And what's funny is the fires only burnt the tops of the buildings and certain parts of the building, but other parts of the building were completely untouched. Reminds me of a lot of 1893 Chicago, 1901 St. Louis, and 1901 Buffalo, New York. Only certain things burn and only certain things crumble.
Things that happen when your soul awakens. Number one, you stop getting mad at people because you understand them better. Number two, you see everything in the world as it is, not as it was taught to you. Number three, other people's energy affects you way more than it used to. Number four, new people and new opportunities present themselves to you. And number five, you chill out. You stop worrying so much because you are more and more connected to home.
I speak of peace, therefore, as a necessary, rational end of rational men. I realize the pursuit of peace is not as dramatic as the pursuit of war, and frequently the words of the pursuers fall on deaf ears. But we have no more urgent task. Let us not be blind to our differences, but let us also direct attention to our common interests and the means by which those differences can be resolved. And if we cannot end now our differences, at least we can help make the world safe for the diverted. For in the final analysis, our most basic common link is that we all inhabit this small planet. We all breathe the same air. We all cherish our children's futures, and we are all mortal. That is the most important topic on earth, peace. What kind of a peace do I mean, and what kind of a peace do we seek? Not a Pax Americana, enforced on the world by American weapons of war. Not the peace of the grave or the security of the slave. I am talking about genuine peace, the kind of peace that makes life on earth worth living, the kind that enables men and nations to grow and to hope and build a better life for their children. Not merely peace for Americans, but peace for all men and women. Not merely peace in our time, peace in all time.
And what is amazing, absolutely amazing, is that Khrushchev heard it, was carried away, summoned the U.S. envoy, Kennedy's envoy, to Moscow, Averell Harriman, and said, "This is the finest speech by an American president since FDR. I want to make peace with your president."
When you see someone who is always calm, incredibly kind, and avoiding conflicts, be careful. This person notices everything. They remain silent because they know if they get angry, it will hurt. They keep everything inside, choosing to stay calm. But the day it explodes is a real storm, and the one who triggered that anger will bear the brunt. However, everyone has a limit, and for them, this limit is often higher than for most people. But once it's crossed, expect a superstorm. That's why it's essential to respect them. Don't mistake their silence for weakness. Behind every calm smile, there is a strength and determination that can surprise you. If that resonates with you, drop a bomb. And if you're already following, congrats. You're growing every day.
Jeffrey Hinton,
seen as the godfather of artificial intelligence, has quit his job at Google, warning of the dangers of AI.
does humanity know what it's doing?
No. I think we're moving into a period when, for the first time ever, we may have things more intelligent than us.
You believe they can understand?
Yes.
You believe they are intelligent?
Yes.
You believe these systems have experiences of their own and can make decisions based on those experiences?
In the same sense as people do, yes.
Are they conscious?
I think they probably don't have much self-awareness at present. So in that sense, I don't think they're conscious.
Will they have self-awareness,
Oh, yes.
consciousness?
I think they will in time.
And so human beings will be the second most intelligent beings on the planet.
Yeah, but as soon as it gets really complicated, we don't actually know what's going on any more than we know what's going on in your brain.
What do you mean we don't know exactly how it works? It was designed by people.
No, it wasn't. What we did was we designed the learning algorithm. That's a bit like designing the principle of evolution. But when this learning algorithm then interacts with data, it produces complicated neural networks that are good at doing things, but we don't really understand exactly how they do those things.
The dunce cap was created, they say, to be put on a child when the child was not paying attention. Remember, they would put a dunce cap on the child? But the interesting thing about the dunce cap is when you place a pyramid on top of a child's head, it allows the cells to begin to spin back the opposite way so that the child can focus and pay attention. Because all of their cells are spinning back the opposite way, so they can't focus. But when you place the pyramid on top of their head, they are now able to focus. And then if you think of people when they're wearing crowns, that whole time, that's all connected. That's connected to the ether and the energy. So depending on what was placed onto the head or the scalp would also pick up the energy. But a dunce cap was created to make the cells start spinning backwards so that the child can pay attention. And there's a great book by Mary Hardy, remarkable work, but she did it with her child because her child was having attention disorders and could not be able to pay attention and focus. They put a pyramid on top, bam, child can focus again.
It only takes 45 seconds to change your perspective on everything. Just give me 45 seconds. I'm 18. I dropped out of college because I wasn't smart enough. I've been through 5 full-time jobs already. I can't keep a job. I'm a social media marketing manager, but I only have 1 client. I'm barely making it day by day. Or, I'm 18. I dropped out of college because I knew there was something better for me out there. I quit my full-time jobs to be a part-time server so I could have more time to myself because I want to be my own boss and work on my own legacy. I already got my first client for social media marketing business without even making a logo or business name. Which one would you choose?
You have to take your phone from room to room, no matter where you go. You probably have a problem. If you wake up in the morning and you check your phone before you say good morning to the person sitting next to you, you probably have a problem. I just want to show you something. This is the psychological power of the device. What if I was sitting here talking to you holding my phone? It's not buzzing, it's not beeping, no one's calling me, I'm just holding it. Do you feel like you are the most important thing to me right now? No, you don't. So when we show up for a meeting, or we sit down for dinner with our families, and we put the phone on the table, it sends a psychological message to everyone sitting there that you are not the most important thing to me right now. And putting the phone upside down is not more polite. Put it in airplane mode to take away the temptation that something's coming in, and put it in a bag out of sight. This is how we should be interacting with people, giving them our full attention.
I think black people have, this may ruffle some feathers, but I don't give a fuck. I feel like black people have revolutionized poverty and made it look so fucking cool that people think we like it.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie.
I think that black people have made
That's a
poverty
fucking
look
bar.
so cool that people think we fucking like it, bro. We don't like it. We're just making the best of it.
Even the trauma that come from it, niggas aspire to it.
Like,
niggas want to be a tough nigga. You don't realize this nigga ain't tough. This nigga just watched his daddy die and his mama on drugs, and like his life, that nigga traumatized. That nigga got PTSD. He ain't tough,
but he got a
he's
French
traumatized, and to the point where a nigga could grow up in a home like this and aspire to be from the projects.
It's because, unfortunately, people think that blackness is tied to poverty. They think that the black experience is being poor. That's why when you have others who equate poverty to being black, or I don't have any privilege, I grew up poor. Why the fuck do you think because you've been broke that you know what it feels like to be black? No, you don't. You've just been poor.
Well, I think that those people that say they're just liars. It's just like cut
I think that, like I said, we've made poverty look so easy and so cool that they think that it's
we just are cool.
Check out this video of this laser etching tool making a traditional Indian design in solid rock. Look at this final product. Isn't it absolutely exquisite? Now you'll see in the next few clips how it is almost impossible that these structures created in India with these intricate and absolutely insane details were done by hand and chisel, when they look almost exactly to how that rock inscription was created. And here's another example of that and how absolutely amazing this technology is and always was, and possibly was used in the ancient times. But nonetheless, let me know what you think in the comments, and be sure to follow Question Antiquity for more.
Topological qubits are smarter, faster, and more reliable than traditional superconducting qubits. The chip can fit in the palm of your hand. Microsoft claims this technology could lead to a 1,000,000 qubit processor on a single chip, potentially solving complex problems like breaking down microplastics, or inventing things like self-healing materials. This advancement is based on controlling Majorana particles, which were first theorized in 1937, but only recently observed and manipulated in a lab setting. Microsoft CEO stated that this breakthrough will lead to meaningful quantum computers in years instead of decades.
So, what the fuck do you mean Microsoft created a new form of matter?
Uh-oh.
Sorry, I thought it was liquid, gas, and whatever the fuck. Solid. But they just made a new one. Sorry. You can't just say something like that and then not further elaborate, right? Because I haven't gotten past understanding what Bluetooth is, right? And you're telling me that we're creating new forms of matter. Oh, I'm sorry, are we Tony Stark? You, sir, have created a new element. Yeah, that's in a fucking Avengers movie, bitch. Okay? I don't like opening my phone, seeing that Billy G is out here making new forms of matter. Oh, we're calling it the Major 101. Go fuck yourself. What are you talking about? We used to just make laptops, huh? We remember when wireless headphones came out and we were all like, oh, we can wear them without a silly thing. And now we're making quantum computer chips. Okay, sure. Yeah, I'm a regular guy. That means diddly fuck squat to me, right? You're just saying big words that scare the shit out of me. It said it was more powerful than all the computers in the world combined. What does that mean? How powerful do you need it to be? Why can't we all just play Tetris?
I haven't told him anything. Okay, just tell me what you see.
Oh my god, come on.
Wow, what the fuck? Wow, what the fuck? Holy shit. I just saw something. Yeah. What the fuck?
Oh, I see that. I feel it.
I've been under the influence of mind-altering substances a lot, but I've never seen anything like that. Whoa.
I showed over 100 people, and I kept asking myself, how are all of us seeing the same thing?
Oh my god. It's changing shapes right there.
The laser was revealing numbers and letters running in a pattern.
They're almost like this big here, and it looks like code.
It looked like...
That was a thick laser.
That's why I told you. And I just want to take a picture of it and translate it.
Wow.
You see that?
Okay, so yeah, it's not stuck.
No.
It's not because of the light.
No, it's on its own side. Light is just literally revealing it.
And
each angle shows you different layers, different ways through it.
I can see through the wall. It's not like a hallucination. It has spatial awareness and permanence. I don't know. Whoa.
For centuries, mankind has attempted to explore these psychedelic, altered states, but we've never had a repeatable, testable phenomenon to observe until now.
Wow. It's like you can see through the laser into another dimension.
Jesus, where's your dad?
He's everywhere. Just joking, he's working.
Can you get that? Thanks, Zeus. God, I love this lamb.
You're welcome.
Well, that's a relief. It's a nightmare catering for you lot with all your dietary requirements. Oh, no, not for me. Designated driver.
See that? Reverse miracle.
I think that's yours, Aphrodite. How do I get that thing for myself?
Moses, can you pass those down?
So, should we address the elephant in the room?
Not funny 2,500 years ago. Not funny now.
Cannot comprehend this object the same way a 2D species would not be able to perceive a 3D object. The tesseract is the four-dimensional analog of the cube. It's basically a cube with a cube. It has 8 directions: left, right, forward, backward, up, down, inward, and outward. But how do we make sense of this? Well, here's an example. A cube has 6 squares. If you lay it flat, it forms a cross pattern. It would be possible to travel from the top square to the bottom one if you make a cube out of it. In our 3D world, you are basically turning 90 degrees in space. But in the 2-dimensional reality, you wouldn't be able to fathom a cube, meaning your trip would look like a teleportation from one square to the other. But check out this object here. It shows that flat 6 squares cross pattern is 8 cubes put together in 3D space. We can't perceive this 4-dimensional thing, but let's imagine how those cubes would interact in 4 dimensions. Imagine moving from the top cube to the bottom one without moving them. It's a crazy idea, but this would be possible with a tesseract, just as moving in 3 dimensions is possible using only 2-dimensional shapes. The concept of the 4D universe is known as Minkowski space, which unifies three-dimensional Euclidean space and time into a four-dimensional manifold, where the space-time interval between any two events is independent of the inertial frame of reference in which they are.
Why is it that so many of us are still in the dark about this?
Why wouldn't you be in the dark? You've been trained to be in the dark. Been trained. I mean, on Thanksgiving, we pray for the abundance. Now think about this for a minute. If I work for you and you pay me $1,000 a week, oh man. So one day I want to thank you. So do I give you a day for free? Or do I charge you $10,000? Which one?
I guess I'd take the free day.
Yeah, I'm not asking you, guess would you take? I said, if I'm talking about you, if I want to say thanks to you, do I give you a day for free or do I charge you $10,000? That's a simple question. I work for free. So on Thanksgiving, if that's the day we pray to the universe, thanks, then why don't we not eat that day? Why do you eat more that day than you eat any other day in the year? That's all I'm trying to say.
If you are seeing this video, stop and give me 20 seconds. You are not alone. You're not going crazy. That impulse in your heart that is telling you that there is something more out there is true. There are others that are experiencing it too. We are literally remembering together, connect, share, find the others because they are looking for you too. It has been amazing to see literally thousands and thousands of people commenting and conversing on my last post. Soul family reconnecting, y'all. It's happening. Get ready.
To live in the world of pure thought, we begin to feel a strange, unsatisfactory quality to the world. And this living in pure thought is not something that is only done by, professors and intellectuals and thinking people. Perfectly ordinary people often live in the world of pure thought. As, for example, when we pursue certain goals in life, when we say, I want to be successful, I want to be happy, these are really abstractions. Because supposing you become enormously wealthy and you're able to afford 3 cars and 6 houses, you can't drive in 3 cars at once. You can't live in 6 houses at once. You have a symbol, which we call prestige, of your status, but that is an abstract symbol. You can't eat prestige. You can't eat success. You can't eat prestige. You can't eat success.
A big part of intuition is discernment, and that's going to be a hard pill to swallow, because when you are someone who is tapping into your intuition, who's tapping into that high priestess energy, you also have to know how to use it, how to execute it. You have to know how to set boundaries. You have to have a strong sense of self. Sometimes you have to be more guarded when you are sensitive and when you are intuitive. You cannot have empathy with blind spots. Because empathy without discernment is just as dangerous as not having empathy at all. That's something that I was taught growing up, okay? It's very, very important. Knowing how to say no, knowing how to retreat, knowing how to pull back is just as important as giving your love, giving your time and energy. You also have to know when to pull it back.